In my own country, they try to track me down. For what? I don't know. Oh, Mr. Liar Man, you know I didn't do the thing you say I do. Oh, Mr. Liar Man. Joe Rastafari. King Selassie, big up, oh Mr. Liar Man, oh Mr. Liar Man, oh Mr. Liar Man, oh Mr. Liar Man. You know I didn't do the thing you say I do.
I want us to focus on the censors. Honorable Snow, let me come to you before we go to Ben and Kev Hassan. The role of the Senate, knowing exactly what you know now, the involvement of Samuel Toy. Speak to the Liberians out there, please.
First thing, let me just go back for 1 second. I listened to my brother Georgie Timmerlane talking about the Senate. I'm happy that Larry clarified it. You know, we left with Timmerlane. If you make Furadiko first speaker and Sir Joseph pro tem, then let the job be all right. So, you know, but anyway, having said that, let me proceed.
But squeeze that in, just to proceed.
Yeah. So let me proceed. The issue of leges is extremely serious and very important. I've listened to Alex. I've written a letter. Before I listened to Alex, I wrote a letter on the floor of the Senate. Senator Darius DeLong has spoken on this matter. Other senators have spoken on this matter. And it's a serious situation. My only disagreement, again, in Liberia, even if someone was to dig a well and they fall short of digging the well, we blame the president. Leges has a board. And I think the board should be held liable for the actions and inactions at Leges. the allegation and a keyword allegation against the chair of the board of legislation, who also happens to be the Minister of Finance. I think those allegations are grave. And I don't think we should wait and we should just say, oh, the president should act. I think the Minister of Finance by this time should either call a press conference or subject himself to an investigation, or Alex, in other words, Alex now should write formally, maybe the LACC, document his information and submit it. But I think by this time, it's important for at least the Minister of Finance should say something. I mean, these are grave allegations. And to just remain quiet under the disguise that Alex is lying or the informations are not true, I think he should do a little more than that.
If I may add. Can I add, please?
Honorable, can we give him a few seconds because we wanted to ask him from the Senate area. Let's ask him some question. Are you done, Honorable Snow?
Yeah, I'm done. I mean, the letter I wrote the Senate.
I'm about to put the letter up,
and
I'm about to play the video. And you guys, you and Dylan were on spot when your actually came out. But thereafter, what are you guys going to do?
Well, let me just inform you. Let me just inform you also. If you watch the Dylan's tape, because I was in session that day, and I'm sure you've seen that. After Dylan and I raised the issue, the protest made it clear that you see, the House of Senate is slightly different. We don't grandstand in the Senate, we don't grandstand, and I wouldn't say the pro tem gavel is what something is said. The pro tem uses his gavel wisely. What we do in the Senate, we hold consultations. So when major national issues like the census, the issue alleges come about, the leadership of the Senate will take seize of a matter like that and confer with the executive to take the necessary action. So the dismissal at leges was not just out of the clear blue sky. The Senate leadership had conversation. Yes, we still have concern that another person in person of Lawrence George, who was indicted by the LACC, was appointed to act. We have a concern. You may not know, but the Senate has been closed for the last 1 week because we took a census break. So we return to session on Tuesday next week and we'll flag the issue, and I'm sure the leadership will take seize of the matter again and discuss it with the executive. So we don't do everything on Facebook or grandstand. We work behind the scenes sometimes to make sure things are resolved. So the actions alleged was also through the intervention of the Senate that some actions were taken.
Again, to my question, sir, knowing exactly what is happening, information we received from Alex Wooden and other folks out there, the failure of this censor moving forward. What's Edwin Snow, what you going to call for, what you going to do concerning Finance Minister Samuel Tway?
Well, I think, like I said, Mr. Tway he owes the public some form of explanation. This matter needs to be investigated. I hope that the documents in the possession of Alex, you can make it available, maybe to the LACC, to the legislature, whatever way he chooses to do it. But I think Mr. Tway needs to be investigated. He owes it to the Liberian people. Those are grave allegations. Again, allegations, the key word. But he needs to be investigated.
You from Bowman. Folks in Bowman watching you. What you going to do? A senator from Bowman.
The health sector is in crisis. The masses of the people are dying for curable diseases. 5 years along the line, they are reducing the budget of the health sector. In this year's budgetary appropriation, the health sector has received reduction of budgetary appropriation. The masses of the people are neglected and abandoned. 5 years along the line, the education sector is in tatters. 5 years along the line, the University of Liberia is in feculence. 5 years along the line, Federal Liberia. 5 years along the line, the 19,736 employees of the education sector of the Republic are subjected to 92 million, while the final ministry of 920 staffers have experienced astronomical budgetary increment from 60 million to 152 million.
Yo! 5 years government has failed us. Yo! Yo! Say enough is enough. Yo! Yo!
5 years along the line, more than 16,000 students at the University of Liberia, 1,759 employees at the University of Liberia continue to be subjected to 17 million, while the President of the Republic of Liberia, a single individual budget is increasing from 2 million to 5 million. 5 years along the line, there is nothing called happiness in the Republic of Liberia.
All looter of the state. Yo!
5 years along the line, the legacy is corruption. If it is not 16 billion, it is 25 million. If it is not 25 million, it's the abuse of the 24.8 million intended for the national reform. And we are disappointed in the national legislature that they can come here and conspire against the Liberian people to backdate an agreement, while the element Minister Tue was caught in the GSC report. But the elements here do not have the balls to bring that monster criminal to tax and subject him beyond the rusty bar. So 5 years along the line, we have come to inform the Liberian people, we have come to inform the national legislature that on July 26th, the Student Unification Party will boycott the July 26th and organize the masses of the Liberian people in the street to protest in demand of structural repair in their conditions and in demand of fixing the country, because the country is not at the service of the Liberian people. In this life, fellow Liberians and fellow students, we will turn over to the Secretary General of the Student Unification Party. We will present the Chairman of the Student Unification Party. To present the petition of the Student Unification Party. We will legitimize the position of the Student Unification Party. Because we are about to take the masses of the people. Mana! Viva! Social justice academic freedom, viva! Where do? Comrades and friends, fellow Liberians, members of the Liberian Senate, fellow pressmen and women, from the inner sanctum of the Student Unification Party, we convey to you our fraternal greetings. And today we've come not just to demonstrate our dismay, not just to demonstrate our disappointment in the way the affairs of the Liberian society have been run for the last 5 years under the We Are stewardship, but we've come to say to the legislature as well that giving responsibility by the mass of the Liberian people to come here and to represent them means that you have to work in the best interest of the people by performing laws and policies that will improve their well-being or their welfare. But the last 5 years have been different. So a few days ago, by member of the 31st Central Committee and Politburo of the Student Unification Party, the chairman of the Student Unification Party gave a position statement on the issue of independence celebration this year. And we are very emphatic and unequivocal. There is nothing worth celebration or nothing worth to be celebrated this year independence. And there's not just the first time of the Student Unification Party for those of you who want to ask. 2018, we boycotted independence celebration because the president refused to declare his asset. And here we are again. 5 years down the line, the hallmark of governance in the society is corruption. Mendacity and plundering of the state resources at the disadvantage of the mass of the Liberian people who suffer the heft of poverty in this country. So it is against the backdrop that we've come here today to decisively address the issue of corruption precisely at Legix. A few weeks ago, the AICC submitted a final report of the investigation of corruption sagas at Legix, the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Sewer, and the list go on. But it was amazing to note that since then, the president of this country was heard on a local radio decisively defending corruption. And the Minister of Justice or the Ministry of Justice has done nothing to prosecute those who have been indicted by the AICC. So today we've come as part of our campaign launch a few days ago to face this country. Facing this country is facing a legislature that will do the business of the Liberian people. Facing this country means you have to deal decisively with the issue of corruption and bad governance. 5 years down the line, State Department report on this country has been very wrong and it has been tragic. The issue of human rights, corruption, rule of law, everything, Liberia is lagging behind. Liberia is lagging behind. So as an institution bestowed with the spirit to struggle for the dignity of our people by our history, we are here today to give a position statement on the corruption saga at Legix. Professor Francis Ray is Lieutenant General or Director General in Wilmer Smith and that of Lawrence George. They both caught in the cobweb of corruption. And nothing is being done. So we've come to implore the Liberian Senate that you have to pressure the Ministry of Justice to ensure that these people account for everything they've done against the interests of the society. So at this point, before we usher in the chairman, you must understand that on the 26th, we are clear with this message that we'll boycott independence and we'll be having a mass protest rally. We've talked to the security apparatus precisely the Ministry of Justice and showing us security. They are yet to say anything. It is our constitutional right inscribed in Article 1, Article 15, and Article 17 of the Constitution of this society. And as part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we've got right to assembly, expression, and freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, Cummings. So today we've come here to let you know that on the 26th, peacefully, the Student Unification Party, under the able leadership of Chairman Mustafa Kane, will commandeer the people of Liberia into action. Oh yes, this regime promised that they will have brought people to justice. Implementation of the TRC report. 5 years down the line, they are supporting those who committed heinous atrocities against the mass of the Liberian people. Those who plunder the state resources, those who kill our people in the society must not be seen as people who can commit wrong against our people and can go scot-free. So this government needs to implement the issue of World Economic Crimes Court in the society. So at this point, we just wanted you to know that on the 26th, the Student Unification Party will be in a protest endeavor. And that if anything is to go wrong, the Liberian state under the stewardship of Georgia is to be held responsible. Yo, face the contract, you face all. Yo. You cannot have the university in tatters. You cannot have the economy fail. The economy has failed massively. They said the running country. Hey, 5 years down the line, you cannot account for a single foreign direct investment. 5 years down the line, unemployment is swelling. 5 years down the line, decadence, despair, and disdain are the imagery of the masses of the Liberian people. 5 years down the line,
they are bastard that economy. Yo.
And Princess Cooper will die. No good investigation.
Yo, political and autopsy report. Yo.
This is the state of the affairs under the we administration. So at this point, we usher in the chairman of the 31st Central Committee, the 31st Politburo of the abroad long surviving yet progressive institution, an institution that play a pivotal role in the democratization of this space called Liberia. This democracy that we have was won on the tears and sweat and the blood of some of the brightest and noblest of our comrades. We want to make this clear that those who are here bastardizing this democracy, they have no intent or they know nothing of the history of this society. This democracy was won on the struggle of the Student Unification Party. So it is our responsibility to protect the democracy. And as part of protecting this democracy, we've come to agitate for good governance. And dealing with good governance, it means that you should deal decisively with the menace in corruption. So at this point, we usher in the chairman of the Student Unification Party, Kadir M. Mustafa Karen, who will read the petition statement of the Student Unification Party.
They are politics as our education. Yo, yo, yo.
Manta, where to? 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 The story of life. That's why I'm a freedom fighter. Fanga Student Unification Party. In the version of Liberia, Monrovia, Liberia, Republic of Liberia. The Honorable House of Senate, under the capable leadership, great leadership of Abache, sub petitions in the Liberian Senate for the application of justice against corruption of individuals alleges. Comrades and friends, brothers and sisters in the struggle for final liberation, striving militants and other logs, whose struggle is to overturn systemic backwardness, revere cadres and patriots, as well as veterans of the indomitable ruling Vanguard Unification Party. We bring you warm fraternal revolutionary greetings from the Central Committee and Politburo of the all-powerful Vanguard Unification Party. And hereby petitions the Liberian Senate on the matter of the corruption saga alleges and a subsequent report by the LSCC recommending prosecution of the Director General and his two deputies, amongst others. It is urgent and important that the Senate be informed that on July 7, 2022 AD, the indomitable Vanguard Unification Party held a sacred press conference calling on President George Weah to man up to the unquestionable findings and judicial recommendation in the LSCC report. Amongst other things, the Vanguard Party called for the immediate prosecution of latest boss, Professor Fraser Rand, and his two comrades in crime, Raymond S. Smith Dion and George and Lawrence A. George Sr., both of whom are Deputy Directors for Information and Coordination and Deputy Director for Administration, respectively. SUP was unequivocally clear that the position of the President not to suspend or dismiss with immediate effect these two criminals, as well as awaiting prosecution at the Ministry of Justice, is a death sentence to the Liberian people. During that event, we announced clearly our emphatic caveat that after 7 days of no action, she will unleash the titanic wave of unspecified revolutionary action through the mandate of the military salute of the Vanguard Unification Party. So, having observed the elapse of said period, an ultimatum with careless, Botia, Sametwa, not listening to the plan of the Liberian people as well as President, we are pretending not to take action by dismissing these criminals. We are beginning our revolutionary unspecified action by starting with petitioning the Liberian Senate and other international partners to caution Mr. Weah and the Ministry of Justice to act responsibly and act judiciously, or else the Vanguard Unification Party in the coming day will be level no action but to unleash revolutionary action in revolutionary form and manner. Holding our position constant with undiluted expression, the Vanguard Party is calling on the Liberian Senate to pressure President Weah and Minister Dean to urgently proceed to court with these thieves who are available that have taken the Liberian people money. SUP is disappointed that after almost a month of publication and final submission of the LSCC report to the Ministry of Justice, absolutely nothing has been done. Therefore, the Vanguard Party is petitioning the Senate to call on the Ministry of Justice, which is the only hope for dispensing justice against criminals and accused individuals who stand up to its statutory responsibility. SUP is calling on the Senate to pressure the President as well as the Ministry of Justice not to see anyone already caught in the web of corruption or reported or stealing the census money. Prosecuting these corrupt individuals does not only sustain the system accountability and transparency, it also promotes justice, good governance, and prosperity in the country. Therefore, we are calling on the Senate not to turn blind eye to the fight against corruption by pressuring President Weah and the Ministry of Justice to prosecute these people who are caught in the web of corruption. The Vanguard Student Unification Party believe the Senate's silence on this matter is validating the current ongoing funneling of the remaining census resources by these criminals and is acting as alibi in helping these criminals to continue to loot the state funds of the Liberian people. The Senate must make the Minister and the Ministry of Justice to see these assumptions as a flagrant disrespect and disregard to its authority and mandate. When people begin to see the Ministry of Justice as a toothless bulldog, worth only its name and nothing more, they gave the largest international partner in Liberian society the near impression or reality that the nation is vulnerable and exposed to corruption and impunity. To avoid this and other misconceptions, the Vanguard Unification Party is urging the Senate through this petition to stand up now or expose the nation and this government to uncontrollable plundering of state resources, taxpayer money, and donors' money without punishment even being caught, pens down. To this end, and if the ministry fails to act after the stipulated time of our petition, it must be noted that the indefatigable Vanguard Unification Party will be left with no other alternative but to effect an effective citizen arrest and aforementioned of aforementioned corrupt individuals. Comrades, I repeat, with the stipulated time given to the Senate, if action is not taken, the Revolutionary Vanguard Unification Party through revolutionary action will be left with no other alternative but to issue citizen arrest on the aforementioned individuals who are caught in the act of corruption. We consider these individuals as the prime reason why our constitution is being bastardized and disrespected, in line with the 10 years census clause. And since criminal facilitator Samuel D. Twain, who the board care less about what to do, so believes a thorough citizen action against him, as well as imperative against those caught after the deadline, will be issued in line with the mandate of the Central Committee and Board of the Vanguard Unification Party. So, we shall ensure and pursue wherever these criminals appear, they shall be arrested by the citizen. It will be the best way forward if the Senate refuses to give redress to our petition. Done on this 21st day of July 18, 2022, in the city of Monrovia by the Military Power Salute, by the mandate of the Air-Potent Vanguard Unification Party. So, Sir, Comrade Adolor Tusu Kamara, Secretary General of the Vanguard Unification Party. So, approved Chairman Mustafa Kane, Chairman of the Vanguard Party. Oh, Suwe, never die, never die, never die. Oh, Suwe, never die, Suwe, never die.
On behalf of the Liberian Senate, standing here with me to receive the petition from SUP, Senator Jonathan Segwe from River G.
In 2023, the intention, mission, and strategy is to manufacture number. And criminally create the election at the advantage of Mr. Weah, the disadvantage.
People will see your call as being belated. The process has started today.
It has not started. The Vanguard Party alarmed this ever since. The Vanguard Party is the first institution, in fact, to alarm the corruption in the exercise of the census. The Vanguard Party is the first institution to inform the Liberian people that Wilmot Smith and Francis Weah dominate pay. These are corrupt elements that must be prosecuted.
The NEC just gave a ruling in the ongoing Liberty Party case here at NEC. The Liberians up there are willing to hear from you. Can you explain to us what NEC just said here, sir?
I thought you gave an overview of what you heard as an institution, so it can't come from me as one-sided or individual.
Yes, you've been following this case from the Liberian stage to where we are, and today NEC just came up with a ruling. So Liberians up there want to hear from you.
Well, so the Elections Commission Board has rejected, dismissed, and denied the appeal filed by Mr. Musa Benedict to asking the board to reverse the decision of the hearing officer, because the hearing officer has ruled in a motion that Mr. Benedict has filed, requesting that the complaint here about the Constitutional Liberty Party be dropped. And the hearing officer denied that motion and ordered a hearing into a complaint, so that we can deposit our true constitution as it was voted upon and decided in Banga, January 2021. Once that is done, all the other issues of a Liberty Party will be resolved at the party headquarters.
So, Oma, why you do for a radio a champion design, and the other one the park. So that's the land I wife for
So what are you doing for a living? Actually, how you
nothing. Nothing. I will make it. The two children I was strong. One name Charles passed away. I had dresser on Broad Street. He died from me from sugar. The other one, Harriet, she was an administrator in the bank. She died in the city walk area for long struggle.
So what your former message to tell we are the president?
I want to tell we are anything. You know what I want? I want everybody to see that Liberia coming down, not under me. You hear the country coming down, the stringers. The stringers get more strong than us. The stringers are the kind of way they freedom. Even we go for the we get no. The club is on the Liberia gas selling food and this one. He said, you move and then the deal will do what to you. They pass the leg and say, hey, Papa, I said, put the way the leg and can pay us. Without 1 year, the Liberia had to go in the car and stop the leg.
Would you like to say a final word to the international community of Grandma?
Yes.
International community?
Yes.
And where would that be?
We are peace-loving people in Liberia. Yes. I, Mrs. Wadio, I'm appealing to the UN, to ECOWAS, to see the situation in this country. and help us to make an amicable solution to save our lives and the lives of our children and to save the sex. I'm not talking only for myself.
Thank you, man.
But as you can see our condition, hold on, the joints, see the kind of water, the kind of date. They cannot take the water on that street. No way we go to the market sell. So some people want to flash out. We get no public work done.
Hold that we are coming the key in a smart thing because your partner say nothing says they will not be president, no one will become president. You're passing around with fake picture, fake news. One poor got like boyfriend go about and play. You're saying that they will kill you, okay, when they kill me no when they kill me no bury me your knee. As you are parling will bury me, am I money nobody more in the country.
But when you have folks like Alosha Store around you, the Isaac around you, when you have folks like those around you, and just believing that they can make you look better, I think Mr. Cummings should rethink. Yes, I said it. Isaac serve as chief of staff to Mr. Cummings. Say he will insult us on live video. No respect. Mr. Cummings didn't address it. ANC folks didn't address it.
And I have to ask has to do with the issue of you using your platform to degrade Liberian women. And I will give some instances. One, in 2016, when the Minister of Labor was persecuting some Lebanese nationals for human trafficking of Liberian girls to Lebanon, you use your show to bring another young woman on your show who you claim knew the victims and castigate those victims as prostitutes on your show, and that they were lying on the Lebanese national while the case was in court. The Minister of Labor at the time was need to lie, and I was at the Ministry of Labor, and we followed that. Two, when Canadian missionary was accused of raping and impregnating a young girl who lived with him, you brought that Canadian missionary on your show to talk about how he was the second coming of Jesus Christ and the people were lying on his name. Three, when the More Than Me saga happened, where the American Katie Myers Institute that she was running in West Point had an issue of sexual abuse, and some of those girls were abused and told, and some of them even contracted HIV and AIDS by Katie's boyfriend at the time, when she did not properly report that matter until later on, and that became a huge issue where the women of Liberia stood up and protested against it. You brought Katie Myers on your show and told her that she was doing a great job and that the Liberian women were jealous of her. Not only that, you've consistently degraded, denigrated, discussed, insult, and disrespect Liberian women on your show, to include, but not limited to, former Representative Josephine Francis, Otokane, Just Mappin Morgan, Vivian McGill, Safari, Madam Medina Wisa. The list is long of women you have done that to. The question is, women make up over 50% of our voting population and our population. You're contesting for the biggest county in Liberia, Montserrat. And let's not forget Augustina Gray, who your friend Mo Ali had impregnated and tried to get to have an abortion, and you went on your show and called her a hopo Joe. You now want the support of Liberian women as senator of Montserrat County. What message do you have to give to Liberian women tonight in support of your bid, given your past history with denigrating, discussing, disrespecting, and demonizing them?
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you very much.
Mariah Kula, you saying some of the worst things about me. I don't have any respect for you. I don't dignify you. Hold on, Spencer, will you let me speak?
Answer the question.
Spencer, I will not do that yet, Spencer.
Mariah will not do this, Mariah. You have asked
I
a
will
fair
not.
question.
I will not do that.
You're given a chance to answer further.
But
Please
it
do
should not be
interrupt.
personal.
But
You
no,
will not
do not.
respond to me personally.
I
You
have
will
the
Do
respond
right
to
not
the issue
to
interrupt
respond.
raised.
him. Mariah, do not interrupt him. Again, you will have
Don't
your time.
interrupt
You
if it
must.
goes
But
personal.
no, you will not interrupt Mariah.
You
You
should
must
stay
give
on the
him a
issue.
chance. Mariah, you must give him a chance to speak, please. Do not interrupt him. Costa, please.
All the women in the basket that I place Mariah Yakula, I do not respect. They insult me, but they expect me to not respond. Then they throw their hands up and say, I'm a woman. You don't know I am a woman? If you are a woman, you will respect yourself and respect how you talk to a man. If you disrespect me and you insult me and you expect me not to respond, I will respond to you. And Mariah, listen to me. I'm not counting on your vote. I'm not counting
You
on
will
it.
not get it. You didn't know that it's not about me.
Stanton,
It's by the other.
if this continues, I will have to leave this show.
Mariah, I hate to mute you because we didn't say we should do this show by talking over each other. Please. Again, you will have your time. Costa must speak. He's the guest. Please.
Mariah, I don't respect you. If you insult me, I will respond, which you often do. I will not care that you are a woman, because a decent woman does not insult a gentleman. She does not. A woman who throws insults at a gentleman and expects to be treated nicely like a queen is delusional. So if you want respect, you must earn that respect. All the other women you name, or you disrespect the other woman, you think you can turn the Liberian women against me? Right on this live feed. Let me talk to the Liberian women. All of you who know that I respect you, say it to her so she knows that. The women who disrespect me and they want to run and hide behind a womanhood, I will respond to you. You mentioned Eva Mapper Morgan. Mariah, you are I don't understand. Eva Mappy Morgan is one of the worst things that happened to the Liberian judiciary. She is a crook. The Supreme Court set up a joint inquiry committee that investigated her. And no, they condemned her. The report is there. Stanton?
Yes, please go ahead.
Will you take charge?
Costa, you need to speak. Mariah, please. Again, we just had a long, sorry you wasn't in our conversation this afternoon, because I think it was going to be important. We cannot interrupt. We cannot speak when they get speaking. Please consider it. When Costa is done, you will have your time to speak. Costa, please proceed.
Thank you. I hosted Chucky Taylor because Chucky Taylor wanted to be heard. I have no regrets. You guys run it. You host this platform that you don't agree with, that have done terrible things. You know, Voltaire said, I will defend your right to speak, even if I don't agree with what you say. I believe in that. So hosting Chucky Taylor is something you want to tie around my neck. If Chucky Taylor wants to speak, if Charles Taylor wants to speak today from The Hague or from London, wherever he is in prison, I will host Charles Taylor. Terrible people appear on platforms all over the world. So I make no apologies.
Hera Costa, we're going to be bringing in Sir Joseph because you'll be running against Sir Joseph. He's a sitting senator right now, and you want to unseat him. Before we do this, Mariah, please don't be too long because we ran over the time. I will give you another 30 seconds because you must say something, and let me give you the time. Just one.
Actually, wait my turn to Mariah.
No, we don't have no more other time. We're bringing in Sir Joseph. So let's give Mariah 30 seconds, please.
Okay. Thank you, Stanton. You know, this isn't personal. I would care less. Well, matter of fact, if Costa respects me, then there's a problem. Because at the end of the day, I will fear nobody. And I will not bite my tongue when it comes to the interests of the Liberian people. For the record, Costa knows I do not support him as senator of Montserrat County. He does
and
not.
I do not need your support.
What a senator is supposed to be for the county or for the nation. Henry Costa has consistently demonized, disrespected like women. Wants to sit on this show and talk about me. It's not about me. Has Medina Wisa insulted you before? Has Botko Kana insulted you before? Should we go on the list of women you have insulted, denigrated, demonized, disrespected? And the fact
Stanton,
that
you said 30 seconds. I'm not going to sit down here and listen to my
4 something 11, but it's okay, Musa. I mean, you can miss the math, but you know you will not miss your money because you're one of Liberia wealthy person. So let's get to the question about this thing. Let's get to this thing. My question, I'm kind of confused, Chairman, and a lot of people confused. Is there still a Liberty Party to reckon with?
Damn, man, come on. You know I'm not going to answer that question. That question is provocative and unacceptable.
No, it's not. Because it's not.
Dan,
Musa,
can I
because
ask me that question? Because you know that there's a Liberty Party, and you cannot ask me whether there is still a Liberty
I will ask you the question because a
Because
lot of people are concerned.
if there was no Liberty Party, I would not be sitting down here. And you know that.
That's what people are trying to figure out. Why are you and the political leader? No, listen now, Chairman. Why are you and the political leader? Why are you and the political leader can get along? You are the two adults in the room when it comes to Liberty Party. I'm hearing you saying that she travel. Listen, I gotta ask you my question. Let me answer the question now. Chairman, no. Let me learn, Chairman. Let me learn. They are saying to you. No, that ain't kind again. Let's ask some good question here. This guy's not playing around with you because you'll be having tea with Abdullah tomorrow at Royal. So let's just have this thing going. Abdullah. But listen, Musa, let's just be straight for a minute though. Only you and Yombly, political leader, chairman, why you guys can come along? Why you guys can put this thing together for the sake of the party? You said she was traveling. She told me she returned. She didn't say anything. It's like a boyfriend and a girlfriend having a misunderstanding. And this case is a high-profile case. You know, we saw you the last time you were running into the Temple of Justice, and we saw you today again making some remarks. Can you talk to us, the Liberian people on this show tonight? What are your thoughts and the way forward with this case?
All right, listen, this case did not originate from the government of Liberia. Mr. Yuri, the All Liberian Party, is a party parcel of the Liberian political party. And there are 4 political parties. They have what they call a framework document that was executed. They made some suggestions, some proposals in the amended version because they have the original document. Then they have the amended version where certain proposals and other articles were to be cited because some of the issues, especially regarding as to what the party may exit the CPP, were unresolved. So they then authorized the lawyers to work along and see how they could take in those plans and those things.
Right. Was she in the? Yeah. Can you give us a brief description? We are hearing it was on the 5th floor. It was on the 3rd floor. It was outside in the yard. Can you tell us where you found the body?
So from the responding officers, we were told that the body was found at the back of the compound. At the back of the compound, in the very back of the compound. That's where the body was discovered. All right.
So before you enter the compound, Mr. Carter, you should go through security, right?
Right.
Have you established that?
So that is one of the reasons why we wasted no time, but to ensure that we started speaking immediately with the security. There were those who were quibbling us. Why is it we're quibbling with? Interrogating the security, because the security were the first, persons of contact, that she encountered before entering into the compound. So it's important. It was important for us to, speak to the security to find out how did she enter the compound, why did she enter the compound, and all of that.
So the building have a CC camera or CCTV?
We have asked the management, as a matter of fact, to ensure that we can take a hold of, a camera, the building's camera. And so all of that will be used in our investigation as a way of, establishing, the facts of how she entered the compound, and for what purpose she entered the compound and all of that. So,
with the exception of the store, I beg you, Dr. Abel, you're going to come in after this last question. With the exception of the store being a building material store, do we have residents in that building?
Exactly, we do have residents.
Okay, have you guys reached out to them?
And those residents yesterday were invited, and like I said, 10 persons, inclusive of the securities and the residents, were invited at the headquarters, and interrogation started with them yesterday.
How important it is upon discovering a body in the back of the Farage building material that you secure the scene, like they do here in America, put a yellow tape line, nobody come in, nobody get out. Talk to us about securing the crime scene, and why up to now you do not have access to the CCTV camera, knowing very well it can be tampered with.
So when the incident occurred, when our officers responded, the crime scene was constructed. And then we had officers that were deployed there at the crime scene to ensure that there was no interference or tampering with the crime scene. We had not, decided to entirely shut down the compound until yesterday, when that determination was made, late yesterday, of shutting down the compound. So as I speak to you, the compound is currently shut down while the investigation is continuing. On the aspect of the CCTV, like I said, the CCTV plays a very pivotal role, especially so the company being a very huge company, building construction company. The CCTV plays a very pivotal role in this investigation because what it will do is that it will help us in, having a view of the entry of the deceased, and not only the entry, but her movement into the compound prior to her death. So our investigators are making every frantic efforts to ensure that we can take a hold of the CCTV and have a view of it, and ensure that it can form a part of our investigation.
So before we go to Mr. Abel and Kev Hassan will bring in that Momo in. Warren, if you receive the CCTV tape, maybe it's on a flash drive or something of that nature, and the time is not in sequence, you have lapses, what would be your own response to the building material store, knowing very well if you start at 12 o'clock, you end at 12, but now if you have lapses, they're escaping in time, because it's very important. I'm fully concerned right now, but because you guys didn't receive it immediately, maybe something going to happen. So Warren, is in the tampering of those kind of evidence to you?
So when we receive the CCTV, and for example, like you talk about the inconsistency of time as expressed or as seen on the CCTV, for us, it will be of interest to us in the investigation. And it will further lead us to asking some very hard questions, to the management of Fawaz Building Company. But however, that we have not reached there, we are hopeful of ensuring that everything is going to work as expected.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kato. Kev Hassan, ask your question. I know you're going to bring in Dr. Abel Mumbo. Go ahead, Kev.
Okay, Dr. Momo. my co-panelist, Tony Judge, asked you a very, very important question. He asked you about motive, and you did not answer that. Can you answer that? What are the motives you guys suspecting that will, and that's my first question, because I do have a second question for you. Motive that will lead to her demise.
Yeah, motive. Okay. Next question.
No.
Okay. All right. So before I get to Kev's question, I think the police spokesperson is not giving a vivid description of the place we are talking about, because not everybody will have the opportunity to enter that place. So I think there should be a vivid description of this place. All right? I will go slowly and describe how it goes so that we can all have an idea. It's not like the back, right? You got this building that is in like a side.
Let me name them. You see Magio and someone to they are the king Juju people. What you mean that the other people not play with Juju? You see Finabono, you see Tokompui and Finabono. Tokompui has one ball with him that he brought from Africa Coast. It is that ball that he's saying, that's why every year, every 3 months that ball will go Africa Coast. That beginning of go Africa Coast will go bring Juju for Toko and Finabono. I will give you more detail on this. While Liberians are suffering in Monrovia, they ain't got food to eat. This lady sent $10,000 United States every month, every year, every month to his daughter in America. Then they can live a lavish life. You go to New Jersey, those who live in New Jersey will attest to what I'm saying. You know, we're not saying these things because we want to give. I want nothing from nobody. But it is about time that the life of the people who struggle with us, the Liberian people who stood, the people who printed their own t-shirt, who bowed their heads, who knelt on the floors, who went into the trenches with President George Weah. It is about time that those people begin to benefit and reap what they saw in what is called the revolution that brought the CDC to power. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we ask for. Every one of them around the president. So sometimes President Weah is messing up, but he's confused. They have put the president in the juju bat. Finabono deals directly with the wife of Smith Towe, who is the cook to the president. She brings the dust, give it to this woman, the woman put it in the food. And then, so by the time the president eat that food, the president can be happy for Finabono. Everything Finabono say is fine. Which chief of protocol will slap the first lady and go scot-free? Nothing happened to her. Chief of protocol slap first lady. Nothing happened. Who will do that? In this day and time. Donald Trump said that people will say he got problem. His wife, nobody can do that to his wife. But Finabono did it to the first lady right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. Why do you think she depends on? She does it because she has put the president in a corner that absolutely the president can do nothing by himself. They have all buried this president. The pastors, what are you doing? Bishop Winker, you are the godfather for this man. This man is dying slowly. You're playing from away. You're thinking of some people making yet. You're thinking of some people making yet. The Liberty Ministry, Overcomer Ministry, what are you doing? Bishop, what are you doing? What are you people doing? The Redeemed Church. What is the church in Liberia doing? What are you doing? It is about time that you rise up to save and protect and save Liberia for these two people that are around President Weah. Finabono is dealing. Tokompui is dealing. Right now, as I speak to you, the president is about to send Tokompui to a public well. Magay want it because Toko and Magay can't poop. They can't see eye to eye. So how can this be? Right now, that's a battle right now going on. The president want to send Toko to a public well. Magay want Joseph Tor, who happens to be a close man to Magay. Magay want Joseph Tor to be the minister of public work so that he can continue to use him. Because when Toko go there, Magay will have no control. And all of them, the same juju, the same plate of God, the same plate, all of them in the same juju part. So my gay ever to kill Toko. So the only thing I got to do is to work with him. And Toko will not back on him. So now the trouble there. That's where the trouble lies. Liberians are suffering. And somebody is saying, oh, why are you saying it now? When I was in the government of President George Weah, those of you who followed me in that government, you all can agree with me that on many days I raised these issues. Prime among them on July 31st, 2019. I wrote...
My friend and brother, how you doing?
Alhamdulillah, life is good. My people, you're sorry for the poor quality of my voice. I live in North Dakota. The season is changing, so that is why it is.
Yeah, my friend and brother, concerning about what is on your mind, we intend for our audience to, is the daytime changing is really giving our audience hard time, but they will get used to it as time go back. So what is the take anyway?
You know the reason I'm laughing? You say you got some survey from our audience. I don't know. It should not be giving a hard time. It should be okay.
Yeah, but look, our audience, you know.
He said,
about
multiple of.
You know, about this time, Josh Lobo is on, the other show is on, and the other show is on. There are more than 3 shows that come out at the same time, every Friday. So.
Yeah. And we will tell that one behind the scene. Let's leave it. I just want to make sure to let you know that those few audience that call you that your survey they're not working. It's a flop.
No, it's
flip-flop sensor.
It's not flop sensors.
But man, it's a flip-flop sensor.
Okay, all right, I agree with you. It's a flip-flop sensor. I agree with you. It's a sensors that flip-flopping. I agree with you.
For us to use our clip for 1 hour 15 minutes, and we are where we are. It don't happen like that, for sure. We'll go 30 minutes there. It can be like, but you know what? I'm not too sure I can vibrate tonight because on the basis of nature, my voice will not allow me. But I will say what I gotta say. I will try, okay? So as usual, I got 4 trending issues on my mind. We talked about one of them last night. For the most part, a little bit in flight, Joy Howard Taylor's story, and also the issue of Liberty Party NEC initial ruling on their complaint, and the issue of the $11 million arrest committee set up by the executive marshal occupant, and also the so-called census starter. So the first thing is, AB, hopefully our God can give her the opportunity to live longer, to see the progress of Liberia, and to see the new outlook of different group of people, especially when it comes to our governance space, public officials, the conduct, behaviors, and issue of lack of integrity. Truth telling is a problem for them, and standing up, speaking, truth to power is a problem. AB, I'll let you go to history. Those of us that read political science, history were part of it. When you look at our country back there, let's say those of us that were born late 70s, and the people that came before our time, maybe our big brother than time. One of them is Cyril Allen, one of them is Charles Taylor, another one is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and you name them. That group of generation damaged our country, damaged our society. And the regrettable part of it is that they are not taking any responsibility. Some of them have come out to little bit apologize, but also boastful of what they did. The last time I listened to Cyril Allen, he was talking about generation damage our generation, our future, and everything. And they went to good schools. He talked about he got 11 children, and 6 of them got master's degree. He said that. And so many things he said that they came from bright school, they were bright, they were angry, and they used their anger and they were not even ready. But let's leave that. But for people like Joel Howard Taylor, who have been in government in real time for almost around 30 years now, prior to going with Charles Taylor, I understand she was a banker, whether the National Bank or Central Bank or whether the Housing Bank, it don't matter. She was a banker. And when she became the wife of the recognized wife of Charles Taylor, because I know Charles Taylor had multiple wives, at some point in time, he was quoted, he said the president is an African leader, and African leaders can marry multiple wives, but Joel was recognized, so they just take it for the records. She served as First Lady for about 6 to 7 years. She became senator, little over 12 years. She is now a sitting constitutional vice president. You know, Amy, the reason I like to talk about these things is everybody in the country, especially small, maybe 2 to 3%, if I'm not mistaken, educated Liberian women, they always talk about this women empowerment. It's a male-dominant play, Liberia is a male-dominant, governance environment, but nobody's stopping the women from participating. But majority of the women are angry. They don't even like each other. Look at Mariah Yekula on Spoon Talk. She want to denigrate somebody. She want to talk about COSA campaign or talk show velocity in terms of intellectualism. And she cannot even give COSA time to talk. Whereby COSA giving her time to talk. And she cannot even listen to the moderator. You see it? And moreover, Liberia is an open society. Right now, we get Nyobli Kanga over there at the level of Liberian Senate. We get Joel Howard Taylor there. We get Boto Kana there. Okay? But let leave Boto Kana, let leave Nyobli Kanga. Joel Howard Taylor is a sitting vice president to George Weah. And she now have the audacity to tell the Liberian people on camera the importance of our census, the importance of us building peace and unity as a country, as a people, as a nation, the importance of us all holding together and driving our development agenda. It baffled my imagination to the extreme. This woman has been in positions that she could change the lives of so many women and so many young people. What did we see her doing? She was behind Charles Taylor. They were buying drugs, drugging our young people to use AK-47.
What do you see?
Yeah, AK-47, bazooka, M16, and you name it. And they could not feel no pain, real or shine. They would say shooting, killing each other. They did not stop there. They organized another group they called Demo Forces in Bond County and brought them to the city. All that time, unity was not important to Joel Howard Taylor. It was not important. Development was not important to Joel Howard Taylor. Census were not important to Joel Howard Taylor. Our development agenda and planning of our country were not important to Joel Howard Taylor. Women empowerment was not important to Joel Howard Taylor. Whereby she could just pinch her husband like they say, hey, Mr. Taylor, we fought a good fight. We killed Samuel Doe. Enough is enough. She did not have the audacity and the tenacity to speak out. She was senator of Bond County for a little over 12 years before she became vice president. What did she do for them? What did Joel do for the women? Let Joel point out one thing that she did that we can rely on. That today now, she has the audacity to question our unity or our disunity as a Liberians. I have never seen Joel go to that Ministry of Information called Minka Press Briefing. I have never seen that woman go there. Say Joe Weah came to power. When she was leaving her vice presidential lane and Joe Weah pressed a button small, she was crying wolf all over the place. The postmortem was poisoning. Where was Joel when all the things were going on? All the women that have been raped, women that have been killed. Has she come up with a single statement, including Princess Cooper?
I'm telling you.
Odell Shamo? Then she call herself mother? Then she go into the Bible using Bible voice on camera? Allah. God got patient, Abi. Some of these people, like me, just need to come on top of their head and carry them down. It is the same Joel that went to Bon County and went to other part of Liberia on camera and said, if you're not part of CDC, you will not get a job. You must be a sedition.
Yeah, she said it.
So if you have a government that is Southeastern company, according to Eugene Fagon, plus a small number of MPP people, how are you going to have unity? You fire Malba Yoba only because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government gave him scholarship to go abroad and learn and go to maritime school, so he cannot share that knowledge. You fire Mo Ali, you force Mo Ali to get out of Minister of Finance only because you work for former government. However, Lee Eugene Nangbe work for NPFL.
Valai Dollar.
Yeah, Valai Dollar. Yeah, I think that the labor that passed, right?
Yeah.
All these young people
who have 2 masters.
Okay. All right. Government scholarship. Look at the boy Ibrahim Yan, right? He was working at Governance Commission. I don't know whether he did now.
Yeah.
Okay. So many young people, you all put it out because you all wanted to join the CDC. The way you saw right there, when CDC, CDC was officially recognized by party official and President Weah, you sat over there and President Weah came on camera and deceived the Liberian people and lied on the oath. You say shit. When you got to realize that there is a disunity in our country, when you got to realize that censor got to be holistic and has to be everybody's business, when you got to realize that you needed to go to the Ministry of Information and stand on camera to encourage the people, when you got to realize that after 7 days of the census day, right? When you got to realize, Joy Howard Taylor, that census is important to our growth and development as a people. What is your path? How many women have you helped? How many policies you are coming with? How many jobs or how many bills that Joy Howard Taylor sponsor at the level of the Senate that is benefiting our people, especially women? It's zero. But you see, AB, this is our country. And you know why? The reasons why our national officials continue to keep the people down is for them to be able to use them. Lack of education, poverty, no employment, no opportunity, no hopefulness. Because if the people really know who Joy Howard Taylor is, she will not even succeed to become city mayor before she will be, any senator for Bon County. And when other people go to studio, they try to parade. I see Mariah Yekula trying to denigrate Costa on camera. According to her, Costa insulted women. Let me tell you something, AB. Anybody you insult me, you must get ready to get the feedback. If you are a decent woman, I will borrow Costa word. If you are a decent woman, you cannot insult decent gentlemen.
Granted.
You're not going to hide yourself behind any woman who I will give it right back to you. If you don't take time, I will double it and give it to you. Anybody get pregnant with that, then get pregnant with me too. Because this life we live in here, so everybody got emotions. There are some women who can get their hands and beat on their, on their parents' mom. And he can't even try with it. You try with me, I will do it back to you. And you think say that only cause I want doing what he doing and I want. Some of us who can do the same thing. You better shut up. If you can get on that radio station and put your mouth on Joseph Boaka that can burn you plenty time, that your grandpa, and talk about health, and you don't want Contrad to talk about you, then you on your own. If you can't even, if you are a decent woman and you respect your parents, then you will respect somebody's grandparent. Because Joseph Boaka is a grandparent. So their politics should be about policy instead of attacking individual behavior. So it's just spineless, according to Dylan. Our public officials not even using their God-given common sense anymore. Everything is just about their belly. Jewel and her husband damage our country, but we still make them be people. Because the majority of the people don't have food to eat. And who causing it? It is the very government. Because when they're ready, they want to go and get their votes. As we see Bakubay number 2 do it in Riverside. I will see Natana Magé do it in Maikibi. Can you imagine? Maybe St. River says, I think 1984, if I'm not mistaken, the King of County, there was no high school in Riverside until Eddie came to power. Every child that graduated from elementary school will go to Buchanan to complete their high school. That's how poor that place is. The last time UNDP and World Bank deal joined a global development index, they say Bombay County was the poorest county in our country. Bombay County, that closer to the city. Then imagine Bon County. Imagine Lofa County. I know our people hustle a little bit. So that's number one. The number 2 thing is Liberty Party issue with NEC. Liberty Party, NEC, I think it's a pre-victory that I see with my small legal knowledge. AB, whenever you have a lawyer that tell you, say, let's tell the court to dismiss the case, the one I hear it means there is a probability that you don't have good standing in terms of truth. Because hearing anything that has to do with legality, for the most part, Election Commission is a quasi environment of court. So they follow the procedure similarly. If the lawyer on the Musability side advised Musability faction of the Liberty Party to ask NEC hearing officer to dismiss the case or not to hear it because it has no reason to be heard, it means that they do not have a good standing. All right? And if you don't have a good standing, it means you don't want them to open the book. And the fact that has been dismissed, that complaint, that don't open the complaint, it put in the trash, now they are on the slippery ground. Because we all saw them went to that Farmington. We all know about the information about the Supreme Court mandate, and we all saw them, they went to that Supreme Court library, they sat down and did something. We did not see the regular people, but of course, they all agreed to that the Constitution will compromise their own Constitution. So I would say in this manner, that is a pre-victory for Nyombli Kanga faction of the Liberty Party. Hopefully, everything can go fine so that the Liberty Party issue can be faced, so that they can conquer this got conflicted by the issue of gay, ABC, so that he can find another place to go. That is that. AB, the next thing is the issue of 11 million rest committee set up by the executive marshal occupant, George Weah. AB, you know that 11 million naira, they didn't give it to the rest importers. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I know about it.
They stole that money. Samuel Tour, George Weah, and George Weah's girlfriend, the woman, Minister of Commerce. You see it? It slowed down. But if you and our audience, they think it's simple. Even if we get 10 rice importers, even if we get 10, we get the 11 million, at least each person will get 1.1, right? It rests now in their warehouses, and we have the audacity now to move on there as a government. Why the government can't move on the rest importers? Because the rest importers did not get the money. And the rest importers, they are business people. They're not coming to fight by the government, but the only thing they can do, they can withhold it. And then when the citizens strike, then the government come in. And that's what they're doing. It's just going silent. But guess what? To even get rest is not easy. My friend in Liberia is selling rest. Up to now, sending rest business with you know how they get in a little bit? They give rest to the army and they give rest to EPS people. Some people going by. And you know now they got a pro rest, they're giving it to sedition strategists. You know, sedition in pre-preparation of the campaign. So this stealing business, George Weah and his government officials, they're not going to change. They are not going to change. They will continue to steal until they can't steal no more. And the only way we're going to succeed for them not to steal anymore is when we take power from them at the ballot box count 2023. My last one is the so-called censor status update. Where are we? Up to this point, the censor dashboard, according to Ellis Williams, it can't open. It will open before it finds something, but it can't even open. So I don't know whether this censor going to be credible if we succeed doing it, or the government will just pull, or they will just do the thing we do in Liberia, right? It's better to remain sitting down, you be shamed, then you stand up and you are made shame. Because it will be difficult for you to say that. It will be difficult for you to say that. The whole censor business is a charade. It's a charade. How many media institutions, how many civil society organizations, how many community-based organizations that the government gives on censor money to through leagues to carry on censor awareness, which we know all the time in Liberia, even election. You open the radio, you will hear about election. Those things don't happen free. That jingle Joy Howard Taylor talk about, she need to take some of her money and give it to those radio stations. If they're using Ministry of Information alone cannot do it. Censor is everybody's business. You got to incorporate everybody. This is not just about CDC business, because all you're looking into power for to steal from Liberian people every single day. Every single day. All right? So this censor here, I'm not too sure it's going to be credible. But the regrettable part of the censor too, AB, and our audience is UNFPA, maybe because the occupants of the executive mansion has no knowledge. I think Southern Tour cajoled them for them to join the government to come up with that statement that the censor will be is still going on or will be okay or will be credible. I don't understand. Because I know for sure international organizations don't play with integrity issues. They do not play with integrity. But to see UNFPA align with this criminal government to lie to our people when the truth is out there in real time, these people are being stealing money, the whole Lige issue, international community, some of their own members that work for Lige, that work on behalf of their organization, they have come up with recording. And only yesterday we see Joy Howard Taylor coming on camera talking about how important censor is. Where have she been? Where have she been? All the noise going on about the corruption are legit. Where's she coming from right now? Was she sleeping or she was parked? Was she parked in the garage? But hopefully, you and FPA can come up with a rebuttal to that statement. Because they should not be in the business of lying to everybody. They should not be in the business of lying to everybody. It'll be back to you. All right, AB, before you get ready, let me do my commercial briefly. All right, folks, we are here, Kagoma Multi Services Consulting, Immigration and Financial Services. We are helping our cumulative member with affordable and quality immigration services, including filing and processing U.S. citizenship and naturalization applications, filing for husband, wife, minor children, adult children, brothers and sisters, and parents, initial green card application processing, renewal, replacement due to loss, adjustment of startup, and DED for Liberians and other country eligible, green card, work permit, fiancé visa, student visa, employment-based visa application processing, affidavit of support, and preparation and submission to National Visa Center, invitation letter, and life insurance. Our contact numbers are 267-648-8012, 701-330-4693. I'll be back to you.
All right. For me, I have just two issues, on my watch tonight. The issue that has to do with Mariah Yakula keep repeating what Helen Contrad does not have respect for women. I believe that Helen Contrad missed the mark. I believe so. I believe that Helen Contrad missed the mark because Helen Contrad should have addressed Mariah Yakula separately, then address the people that Mariah Yakula named. What do I mean? If he were to tell me that I insulted women, and knowing fully well that I never insult women there are some of the women who Helen Contrad apologies to. And that which, of course, all of us must say here clearly. But Mariah Yakula, in her way of cautioning Helen Pedro Contrad, that indeed was not totally acceptable. You cannot be there respecting a man, then you want that man to respect you.
Mm-hmm. Because you're woman.
Because you're woman, that does not pour ice on someone's cake. Because you're woman, that does not mean that because you're woman, so when I address you, then you will go cry wolf. Yeah. Helen Contrad should have used that same platform and address Mariah Yakula separately and address the women that Mariah Yakula need. What do I mean? By you coming out to say, any woman who you feel I offended you, I am sorry. But when Mariah Yakula, you know that I will not respect you because you dare respected me. If Helen Contrad, who is my friend, if he has done that, then of course, there are tons of women who love Helen Contrad. There is no clear, there's no way to go about it. But there are other women who are sitting on a fence. In order for you to be able to bring them to you, those are things that Henry Costa sought to say. I told him that he made a blunder. And Henry Costa know that indeed that he made a blunder. I know that he addressing Mariah Yakula, he should have addressed Mariah Yakula that the way he addressed her. There is no if and but about that. When it comes to the VP, the vice president, you know, for me, I've already said that I don't have respect for Joel. Since Joel was able to go to President George Manawia and thinking that by her sleeping with him, she could have controlled him. And that knew that it's not President Weah that have been controlled. It is the men that behind President Weah who control him. I make it public on the show. So for me, I know that her vice presidency, since when the woman had been in government, not a single thing that Joel can be able to point out. Not a single thing that Joel can be able to point out to be able to say, this is my making. Not even law. Not even law. When it comes to the issue of Liberty Party, I think what ADD said, it is true. Musa Bete does not have case. He does not. Look, when you take someone to court, moment that person try to succumb to ask the judge to dismiss such a case, then that means that conduit has seen his defeat coming.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what happened to Musa criminality. And for us, we are clear. For us, we are clear that Musa Hassan Blete never proceeded the right way. According to the election laws, it is the presiding officer. It is the presiding officer and that of the secretary of the convention. Who was the secretary of the convention? Gabriel Smith. Who was the presiding of the convention? It was normally Kanga Lawrence. The elections law says it is the people who sort of take the constitutions to neck. And that is what a neck has seen. Their own defeat, and they have come up with the ruling that they was in the wrong. So, for me, that is all I have on my mind. You know, and the last thing I want to talk about is this sense of thing. You know, Liberia is just going to look like Iran. For us, we strongly believe that this censor will not be credible enough. This censor will not be accepted. And so there's a need that we postpone it.
But AB, I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think that you and FPA align with government to come up with John's statement about censor is on course? What do you think?
The issue of the UNFPA coming up with such an agreement, remember now, the UNFPA boss that was in the country when Ellis was sent to the country where he went to do his studies, that UNFPA boss was promoted. He controlled the Sub-Sahara. So they sent different guy to Liberia who does not understand the Liberian systems. So they cajole him.
I know Samuel Twe cajole him.
Samuel Twe cajole him to go behind them, to go to say the censor is on course. I believe so. Because if you have been the UNFPA boss, who was in the country when Ellis were appointed, that guy knows the looks and corners of our country. He could not have sat down for these toothless bulldogs to control him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're open the line.
Yeah, let's go now to the phone line. The number to call, 215-266-6509. That is our WhatsApp number to call. Our direct number to call are 267-938-2801. Once more, 267-938-2801. Once more, 267-938-2801. The next number is 215-824-8124. That is the number to call for you to be able to say yo. That is our number. Francis, Liberia, I've been telling you that Liberia is a place. I've been saying it and I've been saying it. Liberia is not a country. Look, no serious country presidents. Germany, we are appear around in Qatar today. George Mane, we are appear in Qatar today.
I thought he already been there before today.
No. George Mane, we are is a con artist. Let me tell you.
That boy. Hey, man.
George Mane, we are is a con artist. The man behaved like he went to other Arab countries. To behave like he wanted for visit. Then the walker town coming closer. Then when they walk, you know that the man visited Morocco?
Yep, I know that.
Okay, that was time. That was time that brother was buying. The brother was buying time because when you can go to Qatar before today, then it can look different.
But in fact, some media were talking about even the people who are playing the walk, he got there before then.
I said the man went there today. When is the walker? The walker is on Sunday. The walker kick on Sunday. The man went there today. The man went there today. Look, when you can see Fina Bono.
But Bono that first wife now, even though she ain't got a wife name, but Fina Bono is a girl.
I am sorry for our country, and I'm sorry for our citizens.
Yeah, ordinary people.
I am sorry for them. Look, no serious president will leave. I agree with you. I agree with him 100% that he want to go watch the World Cup. I agree with him. But go during the time that your son will be playing, watch 1 or 2 games, and be able to come back to the country. But for you to go for whole like 1 month, and then
it's more than 1 month.
Yeah, I know, but let's just hold a constant. I love you hold a constant.
Me gone for 7 weeks. Jolly.
The mayor wrote the
that was more than vacation, and not only here alone.
The mayor,
about 52.
The mayor,
government officials follow the mayor.
Now hold a constant because of the mayor writing to the national legislature that he will be returning to the country on the turn now or before.
He was already there before he wrote.
Yeah. In that is another impeachment offense.
Nobody knew officially nobody knew the whereabouts of the president until Facebook booked it.
You know, that is impeachable offense. And you know, for me, we are in trouble. We are in serious trouble.
Serious trouble. Our country. But AB, before I forget, right? You know they found another lifeless body of EPA officer in Basel.
Yeah.
EPA officer bodied found in Grand Basel County.
Yeah.
People that mind the president, that the presidential bodyguard in there. If they dying like that now, then we don't know what's up.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say, and I downloaded that clip here for
our viewer to see.
For our viewer to be able to see it. I think, yeah, it's it. Yeah, it's it. You know, the EPS, all I can say is that they Ghana, they don't care, man. These Ghana, they don't care. They don't care for one bit. They don't care for the Liberian people.
I think we got our first caller here from Wisconsin.
Yeah, okay, take that caller.
Good morning, caller. What is your name? Where are you calling us from?
Brother President, how you doing? This crew, man.
All right, my brother, go ahead. Life is not too good, but we give God the glory. My voice is not too okay, so I'm sorry, okay?
All right, that's fine, man. Yeah, you guys been doing a great job. In the absence of APT. But look, I was coming from work and I listened to part of your show talking about Drew Howard Taylor. And thing, Drew Howard Taylor. I'm not really a fan of her, but her connection with Pastor and other things. But this woman was elected by the people. Brother Francis, there's something they call after the fact. It's like you already know. The woman married the child still in 1996. They walk in 1990. From 1990 to 1996, it's enough time for you to think. You know how many people died within that time, but they still marry the man. So the Liberian people trying, the women, why do you think they still voted? Because remember, she was a suspect, she was elected, she was not appointed. The people of both countries, with everything that happened in Banga, everything, they still went ahead. So what do you say about that? Their mindset when you talk about, because you're there, you talk about the women, they have stuff on women, but they still women. They look at another woman that when the war her husband still women take up open people, somebody take up different, but they still elected her. So I know what's going on.
We are sick people. Yeah, the people say we are so traumatized. They say, came my mind, came my power, vote for you, right?
Yeah.
So they did it for her husband, so they did it for her too. So that's it. Because the people are poor. I went to work today, I did 11 hours. You think I'm going to do that? I'm not going to do it. I'm busy. After this show, I'm going to bed. So that's another side. And I personally feel that is the reasons why our government continue to keep us down, especially these indigenous criminals. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon if we continue to do that. For example, University of Liberia is the single largest government-run university. What trouble there every day? What government cannot sponsor that university, but instead, but people don't know how to handle anything. I think they're doing it on purpose. If you get University of Liberia students basic academically, you think they would rather have time to do what they're doing?
No.
All they plan they're talking all. By the time the government start doing better, my brother, the thing here, I believe in in business principle. If we fire one CEO and we bring a new CEO in, and that CEO is giving up a better profit margin, you think we're going to fire that CEO?
No.
You think the board of directors are going to have a meeting like that? Because our primary concern is to make sure we get more customers, and we get more customers, we get more profit, because there will be more purchase. At the end of the day, our profit margin will increase. If we get a CEO, we fire the other CEO that will not give you all that, and the new CEO is giving all that profit margin that we want. Where's the need? Every single day in the week, University of Liberia student got to. You know how many universities in North Dakota alone? Just they stay only 2. All right? Private, public funded University of North Dakota and North Dakota State University. The rest of the university in the small town here, I call it, the whole North Dakota population not even reach 1 million. But there is no university here in North Dakota, even the super private one, you can compare to that of University of Liberia. But that's the place they say their own old man and children in there. Okay? What they're supposed to offer, then they don't even offer. If you get students basic, those are doing science. They can't. Look, we say got 1958 books. That's books. Go to science lab. There's no lab. Even the environment is not even conducive for learning. Single university plus Tubman Technical University in Maryland. That's all government of Liberia got. Plus the few community colleges Eddie came away. That is not too bad. But is it the building? You can't even pay the teachers. But Supreme Court justice is not taking pay for 3 months, then the teacher will get paid. So if you get the people based on that campus, my brother, I get my lesson to study, I get this to do. You think I come and do, I will say? So everybody become politician because the government behavior. And not just today, it been like this, but now it has exposed so bad because of this 21st century technology, social media technology. So my brother, that's all about it. All of us sitting here talking, you think what we're talking for? We're talking for our country to be better because it's not better. And Joey even make it worse. So that is where we are. So my brother, that is. We'll keep talking.
Keep your call coming out on 215.
All right, my brother. Thank you for calling.
Keep your call coming out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. That is the number to call to be part of the Manefsan Abraka Talk Show. You know, Francis, I agree with you. 100% agree with you. University of Liberia does not even have internet system.
Man, don't talk about internet. See current books. Library book, they have it. Yeah, I went there.
Look.
I mean, we should go to Metallist Library over there, even the library on campus there. You go look. Man, I want to talk about that. We were just lucky, AB. Extra research.
We're lucky.
Say I'm in the country, that's all I do.
We were lucky. And you know, for me, that is some of the things that I look at Alex Willem, I say.
What do you think? I'm not cutting you off. Majority of the so-called politicians have become lawyers overnight. Can you imagine? No disrespect to them. Joe Carando, they're all lawyers now.
I'm telling you. Down to Edison, huh?
Edison,
huh?
Oh, yeah.
Edison went to the law school.
That's what I said.
Muraya
law school? Law school?
Muraya Yakula now.
Some of them graduate, they can't even go under the building, the temple justice. They can't go there. They take a paper. Look, before I even enter University of Liberia, you know, I used to say I was Yana Bona. I knew somebody paper there. So paper then started that law school. They couldn't even finish it. They died.
I'm telling you.
To even pass the placement test.
It was not
pass
fun.
a placement test
It was
not
not fun. It was not really fun.
Louis Attal Grand School of Law. When I went back, I knew I won't call the many. There's a guy that used to work at Foreign Affairs. The last time he was trying to get, I think, on class reloaded. I won't call him. He's kind of senior brother. When I used to go say he was working at Minister of Foreign Affairs. And from that time, I saw him going to that law school. He finally graduated, but my man, internet, just the computer thing and get him out. They make now get hooked on class reloaded. But they made a lawyer. And they may hold so many positions in Liberia currently. I won't call it. I say, see, that is different then. My brother, I had the legal stuff, right? I go to my lawyer, there is a computer screen from the table here, all the way up here. All the cases lying over there. That's a digital system. Then the guy got the flip computer here. It's separated. In addition to that, I had a laptop. They may multitask it. He load there when you go. They may look at your name, click on it, appear on the other. Our lawyer, they can't do that.
You carrying that fast, eh?
Oh, God.
For them to get our lawyer on that tablet, they got to train them how to overrun the tablet. What we're digging now? Oh, going to our law school. What we're digging?
We're digging and go to law school. Law school? University of Liberia is incredible to a mate, but the learning environment is still.
It's not conducive. It's not conducive.
It is not. AB, when I decided to go to school here to do my master program, my university told me, University said, hey, if you say you graduated, just ask the university to send it or just the address. I was very privileged. Maybe because I was going in the area that was not too far from what I did. Because I did political science, public administration minor, I did, public administration master here. When the people came, they called me and said, hey, your paper here is equivalent flat rate. I was so happy. But other people, they could not. They called me to interview. One of the things that were all my transcript that they didn't understand was at statistics 103, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's demographic.
Yep. So story I had it as 300. It was kind of beginner course. So they sent me to the dean to go and defend it. My brother, I said, God, thank you. Yeah. My man, when you enter the campus, you want to live in school. Every single student had a loaded computer on their desk. My man, they chair better than they chair here. You can sit inside and rally around. You want to twist your computer to the side you want it, fine. You want to carry your laptop, you hook it on the internet, maybe that the one you used to, it's okay. Somebody in the library there with the bulletproof glass, by the time you put your hand all like that, they're coming to help you. That's how I navigated myself through. Almost every single day I came from work, I would go on campus, even though that was not my class time.
I will tell you one fun. When we went to China to school, when we went to China to go do our training and our bachelor degree. So the Chinese class, everything digital, everything computerized. To the extent when the chair that you sit in, the chair has a button that you have to press in case you want to ask the prof. The prof presented on the board, the man is not writing. The man just talking and the writing is just appearing.
Yeah, the man is using remote.
Yeah. So after the class,
That's a smart black boy, yeah.
So
Smart black boy. That's the same thing.
So after the class, one of my friends from Nigeria, he said, that here, my brother, how can we understand what they are doing here?
You will learn it.
I said they put one for us to learn it. So you gotta pay attention when they do. No, but the environment has changed. The environment has changed. Where back our people used to be drawing on a blackboard, demonstrating on a blackboard, writing, giving asahata. That is no more.
My brother, my children elementary school didn't even doing that.
That is no more.
The thing they're using there, I get 1 year. You know, for my own agency, I got a monthly tax that I put on it. They got electronic blackboard, electronic eraser.
Yeah, I have seen
elementary
that.
School.
I have seen that.
That's the one I'm using here to the house. When my children can, if I need to walk them through, I using it for my, for my agency. Everybody that give me work, I put their name there just to make sure.
When is the University of Liberia going to graduate to go to that extent?
Pin the building for it. Pin the buildings. Oil pin. Put it on the front. The nursing is a sedition. That what Joshua fought hard and took that woman from there. The nursing is a sedition. He doesn't care. As long as I'm getting paid, good. Zawolo nursing.
I know it. And the man was the dean.
How can you come all the way student fair? Even look, I mean, Joshua umpa get like the Lord said the last time. Say he gave on Joshua. He gave up. You can't discuss it anymore. Because if there are just certain things you just use your common sense, AB. You see, health, anybody can get sick. So you can't do anything to disturb the doctors. Because it could be you. Anybody can get sick. If you are a little, these are things that I feel that people like Joe Weir should just be using his common sense, empathy. This could be me, could be my child or my children. You can't play around anything like hospital or health. Till like education is a lifelong future for people on both generations. You can't play around it. You have the appointment power, Mr. Occupant. But at least, if you want to bring new person as a new university president, let the person be up to the task. If you don't want to bring new person on campus, the person you're taking there should be the person that's next to the president. But you cannot leave the vice president for academic affairs, vice president for administration, and you come all the way to VP to student affairs. Oh God. No disrespect to this. I mean, not even this one.
Not this one. Dinzawolo
nursing. But you see now, so everything now is about loyalty in our country. As long as you are loyal to the president, whether it wrong, whether it right, you will get it.
Yeah, but
we can't do everything with loyalty, Mr. President or Mr. Occupant. So education again, somebody can be loyal to you before you appoint them.
You know.
Where are we going? Where are we headed?
I wonder what does Dinzawolo Nesse even say can look into the university for him to be able to check whether there is books. I mean, instructor books.
AB. The people not putting pin on the buildings. No pin. Then you say books. Our member of the gentleman club, I'm still member, but I'm not paying you, so I can't consider myself member. I'm not a registered member right now because I'm not paying you. Gentleman Club of Pennsylvania. Some of our colleagues went to Liberia and met with University of Liberia Medical College, Docreative College of Medicine, and they asked us to help them. They said they wanted a digital library. And so we told them we are not in the capacity now to be able to do that. But besides that, what you want? They said they needed medical reference books. You know, here in America, those students are going to, medical school. They get this book then while they can flip, depending what you're doing.
Reference book for
So
you
we
to
were
be on
able
to.
to. I actually became Assistant Secretary General for the Jeremiah Club before I came in North Dakota. We were able to do our document 501c and through our own monthly donations and yearly donation and our own due payment. We went in and took some money. And University of Pennsylvania, all of us that graduated from different universities, they were able to give us our medical reference books, and those books were really, really super good. Even though they were used here, but they were fairly used. Our president, former president, Jerry Yobo, he's the one that carried those books, put in the container center and give it to them. It was very good. But my brother, the educational environment, that what I tell people, instead of me taking 30 to 35 years old in Liberia to represent me, I'd rather go with 22 years old here. You know the reason? The 22 years old, for North Dakota standard, as early as 14, you start working. So you're getting mature before time. You get mature before time. You in middle school, they allow you to do part-time, small hours. Get used to work. By the time that child graduates from high school, they already know the life they want to live. At 18, by 22, they got a bachelor degree. Yeah. So where you want me to go with 35-year-old adult in Liberia that finished with a bachelor degree, maybe, but he even know where to start. Every day I tell my God, thank you. We went to school during wartime. The education we got, not really a quality education. God just blessed us to come here. We were just forcing it. I would go to mentalist camp to go sit down there and handwrite. When I moved from there, I said, they put it and I said, but we wanted to know something. You know, the people of Lofa and the majority of people there, they can't even send you to school anything. People looking for food, they say, might be making fun in school. Oh. Okay? So, but I mean, right now, I don't know why, but all the other leaders have done ugly for our country at a different time. But this time has become so difficult. Almost everything appears like impossible for our government to do, even by just using common sense. Common sense. They are not using it. It's like it's not available. And like I said the other time, imagine this was 1950, 1975, or 1965, or the time Samuel Kanyadu took power, 1980, when there was no technology like we got now. Social media technology for the most part, internet. And this was the time George Weah and this group of indigenous criminals, country people, children criminals, took over that country, and they led the country for up to 10 years of 157 years. Liberia will not exist. Because what scared me so bad is, even in the midst of this vibrant global platform, social media, technology, internet technology, computer technology, smartphone technology, in the midst of everything, that George Weah and his country government officials, criminals, are still doing what they want to do. Imagine there was no possibility for us to know what they're doing. And that's why Joelle, they ain't got no shame. She stood on camera yesterday and she even got no regret. Police officers, they all dying now with hunger.
All right. So I'm not leaving here.
So that's what really baffled me. I imagine, I said, in case we were not having all the things in place, you know what the people would have done? You know what they would have done? The president taking 7-week trip.
That is. Anyway.
It is alarming.
Folks, that's how we'll let to come to the very end of the Magnificent Abraka talk show. Here we discuss the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
this where I'm going back to my Lord.
That's how we'll let to come to the very end of the Manessa Nabraka Talk Show. Be our guest on Monday, the same time, 9 o'clock. Or maybe something will change, we don't know. But be our guest. Bye-bye.